Hello, today we're going to do some vocabulary about statistics. So when we are taking surveys, we can deal with either samples or populations. So if you are looking to ask a question to a school and if you ask everybody, then that's going to be a sample that involves or a survey that involves the entire population. So the population is if everyone was involved, versus if you only ask 100 people, then that's going to be a sample. Okay, so this is a smaller group of the population. Kind of like at Costco, if you go through and you want a sample of something, you get a smaller amount of the thing, you don't get the entire thing itself. So sample is a smaller amount. The population is the entire group. If you are able to go through and survey the entire population, you're going to get something called a parameter. A parameter is information about the population. Versus if you're not able to get the entire group, if you are only able to get a sample, you can't say it's a parameter. You can't say for sure that 50% of people love this. It is then a statistic if it is from a sample that is then applied to the entire group. So when they say like 70% of people prefer Pepsi over Coke, they haven't really asked everybody in the whole world. It's a sample, so it is a statistic, versus if they were able to say like 70% of our class prefers Pepsi over Coke, that could be a parameter if we were able to ask everybody in our class. When we're looking at data collection, there's many different ways we can do this. Surveys are one of the main things to do. So you can go ahead and you can randomly ask people their opinion or different things like that. So surveys are used to just collect information. Versus you can have something called an observational study. So an observational study is something where you just kind of watch. You don't ask questions, you just watch what's happening. So toy companies do this. They put kids in a room with a bunch of toys and they just kind of watch what the kids gravitate towards and play with. And they record information based off of what they see. That's an observational study. Versus an experiment where you actually kind of control two different things. You have a control group and then another group as well. And so like if you're looking at plants, you give one group water and then you give another group water with vitamins or something like that, or minerals. And you kind of look at the difference between the two. So you have two different groups in an experiment. And how we collect data can either be biased or unbiased. It's going to be biased if it favors certain outcomes. So if you are going to ask everyone at a certain grocery store what their favorite grocery store, it is biased because you're favoring people who shop at that grocery store. Versus something that is unbiased if it is random or it doesn't automatically group people into subgroups there. So you can like ask, like if you take everyone's ID number and you take all of the even ID numbers and you survey them about the school, everyone has an equal chance of participating. So that's an unbiased survey. The information you get off of the surveys can either be quantitative or qualitative. So it is quantitative if you can get numerical values, if it's analyzed with numerical values. So for instance, your height or shoe size or anything that deals with a number, your GPA, anything like that, is quantitative because it deals with quantities, versus qualitative would be things like colors. So what color are you wearing today? Or car type. Do you drive a Toyota or a Chevy? Things like that. So those ones are not number-based. They are a description-based, making them qualitative. So this is a bunch of information all about the vocabulary used for statistics. So we'll be using some of these words going forward in this unit. Thanks for listening. I hope today went well for you.